And today we are here to talk about hot apps, cool tech, and pedagogy. We had to sneak in something serious.
So, some of my books and some of Mark's.
I'm the new guy on the Discovering Computers team.
You know, with all this new technology, we're going to show you some great new hot technologies and cool applications that, for the most part, are pretty free and fabulous, a couple little exceptions. So it's time that we try some new things in our class and get wise. Well, what does that mean?
Oh, what is extensions? Felix?
Yes. Yes, I will, Mom.
A pink purse, Mark.
It matches your eyes.
But a brilliant man. Yeah.
Schools shouldn't use the same technologies, shouldn't use new technologies to teach the same old crap.
You know, we've been showing you this week all kinds of new things that we'll be doing in our classrooms coming up clearly. New Office, new Windows, all kinds of new big data networking and so forth. But we want to show you some new technologies to teach the new crap, if you would.
What we mean by that is the skills that students need today in order to succeed in the business world and in their own lives. And so it seems sort of strange that we're going to begin with a slide quoting a study from the National Council of Teachers of English, of all people. But I wanted to do that because they published a study recently where they described some of the important skills that are needed by today's graduates and by today's students to succeed as knowledge workers in the world to come, in the world that they enter when they graduate. And it's about literacy. Literacy has always been a collection of cultural and communicative practices shared among members of particular groups. As society and technology change, so does literacy. Because technology has increased the intensity and the complexity of literate environments, the 21st century demands that a literate person possesses a wide range of abilities, competencies, and many literacies. Think about it. When some of us were in school, being computer literate meant 10, print, my name is Mark, 20, go to 10. Right? That's not the digital literacy world we live in anymore.
You know, if the English folks are understanding the need for computer literacy, clearly then in our particular field, it's even more relevant. In fact, to be active, successful participants today, the first one says you need to develop proficiency and fluency with the tools of what, everybody? Say it. Technology. English folks want to know about technology, and it's more than just Microsoft Word. What else, Mark?
Students also need to know how to work together as members of international teams and solve problems collaboratively, and then figure out how to share their information to meet a variety of purposes in a global community. And I'm going to show you an example of how we actually did that in one of my classes in a couple of minutes.
And we're going to design and share information for global communities to be successful in business today. Clearly, we need to understand how we are all very interconnected. You know, it's funny, we have YouTube, we have so many different technologies out there to connect, but so often the only thing that happens is inside the room. They don't connect to all the items that are outside of our rooms.
And so we want to figure out how to bring the classroom learning experience outside of the classroom. And in the real world, students have to figure out how to deal with many streams of information coming to them at the same time through their social media channels, through things that they read, through text that they watch, that they read, and through videos that they watch. And how do you do all this ethically and responsibly?
And creating and analyzing and evaluating multimedia today. Just because you throw in video and so forth, if it's not really used properly and anchored in, I think it can become fluff. I think that's your term, Mark.
We used that once before.
So let's first take a look at our first technology, and this one's focused at developing proficiency and fluency with tools of technology. So Mark, what do you have for us?
I want to show you an app that I'm using right now. It's called Doceri Desktop. It is an app running on my laptop over here, and it's also running on my iPad. You download the Doceri client to your laptop or computer, PC, or Mac, and project it up there. And then I've got the app on my device. I can do a lot with this. one thing I can do, for example, is control my desktop simply.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Look, Mom, no hands, right? Then if I do use a PowerPoint deck and I want to annotate it, I can do that. I can bring up a whiteboard and do some writing. Or I'm using the Doceri stylus, which comes with, I don't have it plugged in, but one end is an eraser and the other end is a stylus. And you can bring in multimedia objects from your laptop and place them on the page. But the other thing that's really nice about this is that I can also play back everything I've done. And so on here, I've been recording the beginning of this. And when I do it, I can actually create a recording of a podcast of my class lecture. And so that, which is a nice feature of this. Let's see if that actually worked.
And it gives the teacher flexibility and latitude to walk around the room, keep going, and you really can't take your desktop computer usually around the room.
And so you really can walk around with this and annotate on the whiteboard, which is kind of a cool thing. So this is Doceri. The server is unlicensed. On my PC at work, we have this. It's licensed on the PC in the room where we use it, and then people who want to use it download the app onto their iPad and control it that way.
If we, for example, are just recording our voice, there would have to be a script created, just like any other video.
Right.
But just using it in class, just so that you can, control your desktop, there would be no problems there.
And just to show you this, listen up. Oops.
We don't have the audio plugged into his machine at this time, but you're hearing it?
My laptop over here, and it's also running on my iPad. You download the... And so it captures all of the motions on the screen as well as my voice.
How big of a file? Laptop. Copy a whole half hour?
Yeah, you can. A colleague of mine does an entire lecture, and then he'll just stop it and share it, and he'll upload it to his website using the sharing feature on Doceri. Great, thanks.
Talk about cost? You want to talk about cost? No. Okay.
So there is a fee for using the server license after 3 days, after 30 days.
So it's pretty minimal in cost, but just as an idea, a lot of schools are getting iPads, but they're really not too sure maybe how to utilize them in the classroom, or maybe you just have one and would like to run your classroom with it. We always kind of want to double ourselves. And I think this is the next time I need a sub, to fill in, although this is spring break for me. Some new technologies that are out there to do that with the iPad. This is called the double. So now you can be double trouble. Kind of what Sheldon had from The Big Bang Theory, if you're a fan. So it puts an app on your iPad. You can use it to drive, navigate, and be two places at once. There's actually been some consideration when ADA is not a perfect match for a student who is off campus, and I know we're supposed to make every iteration to assist them. There's been talk at some campuses of actually having the student use a double so that they could actually go to classes by staying home if the class is of a nature where it's very hard to be in another location. Now we're talking a couple $1,000s for the double, but it is just an idea to throw out there compared to other technologies that we have that are much more costly on campus. So just an idea.
We want to show you one of my favorite apps. It's called Zmaps. And Corinne is going to demo this, or am I going to demo this live?
No, I can do it
Okay,
live.
let me talk you through what this is. We want to see where everybody's from. We used this in an open house event at my university. We put this up on a smartboard where people could actually touch the map. What we're going to do is we go to zmaps.com, and Corinne is going to create a free map by clicking the. Can you do it?
So here we are at
Button.
Zmaps, ZEEMAPS.com. There's no cost to this website. You all are going to be participating with us momentarily. So to get ready for that moment, I'd like everyone, if you have a mobile device, iPad, smartphone, PC, Mac, any of that sort, let's go ahead and head to the site so by the time I need you to interact,
You'll be
ready
there.
to go. So I'd like everyone to go to the same website that I'm on right now, Zmaps.com. So head there and then look up here and I'll show you my side of getting it set up. What Zmaps allows you to do is create and publish interactive maps, and we're going to find out where everyone in this room is from, and you're going to pin your location to a map, and we'll all see that publicly. Students, this way they can actually put comments, information, images of themselves, and so forth. Look up here after you're at zmaps.com. If you notice, I am now going to drive. Don't do these parts. I'll tell you when you're back on again. So as the instructor in the class, I'm clicking Create a Free Map. Don't you do that, please. We'd like to all be on the same map. So it is now asking me if I want to configure a title. I'm going to call my map Cengage, our host this week. And I'm just going to simply hit Create, but I do want you to know I could put a password if you, for whatever reason, didn't want this to be publicly accessed. So I'm hitting the word Create right here. And it's just going to show me a beautiful map of US, and if I scroll up, oh, Canada's there as well, and the whole world around us. Mark?
At this point, you can add yourself to the map. So Corinne and I, let's add ourselves to the map.
Okay, we're going to show you first. Yours shouldn't be anywhere yet. You're not on yet.
So, should we take a selfie?
Okay. Okay, a fun one, Mark. Okay, where Charlie Angels move. Go, guns. Come on.
I can't reach.
Good. Okay.
So what we're going to do is you can take a photo, and hopefully this worked, and we're going to put that up on the map. Go to Add Marker.
Do y'all see where I am? So if you look up on my screen, you're not there yet. You're not participating yet.
Okay. So what you will do on eventually when you get to our map.
No, don't tell them yet.
All right.
Okay. So we're just going to show you our part for this moment. We're going to go to Additions, and we both have machines. So I'm going to add marker simple, and I'm going to put Corinne Hoisington. And I happen to not really be here right now. My heart's back in Lynchburg, Virginia. So I'm putting my neck of the woods right here. I could even put a description. So what that would allow me to do is, let's say I want to give some comments or some information, or maybe we're giving some dialogue about our local hometown or some information about ourselves previously. And look right down here. Do you see the location for a photo file? So I can put up a photo of me, and Mark is doing our little selfie that we just took momentarily. So we can put up some images right here, and now I just click Submit, and OK right there. So we'll see a little preview. I'll close it up. Okay. And do you see me on the map? That's my neck of the woods. And if I hover over this, look, there's my picture, and if I would have put any comments. So Mark, where are you?
I am in Nashville.
Okay, you are. Mark, hurry up and get there. Let me just refresh. There he is. So let's see our selfie. Oh, we're upside down.
We're an upside down
Mark.
selfie.
Can I not take you anywhere, Marcus? Now it's your turn.
It's your turn.
So at this time, I'm going to a website called Zmaps.com. Are you there? Say yes.
I'm upside
Now,
down.
Now, if you scroll down a little bit on this first page, someone needs to design this better. Do you all see down here, it's saying, what is the name of your map? Do you all remember what the name of our map is? Cengage. And if you can't spell it yet, look at your name tag. So right here, I'm typing in the word Cengage. Now, you could use any word for your map, obviously. So if you would then click Find Map, I'm hoping you'll get to a screen that's similar to ours. How are we doing? Doesn't really, it's not case sensitive.
What's that?
Yeah. It's called Be Patient. So the hamster is running on the wheel. Do you all notice that? So let me just tell you the next step. Once hopefully we are able to get in there, we're going to go to Additions, Add Marker Simple. And this is the location that you'll be able to, again, put your first and last name, your city location, and if you want to take a picture or have one locally, we'll try to get those items added to our map today. So let's see, anyone having any luck getting there? Okay. It's coming. I hear it coming. We're all using the same connection. You all know the story, how this works. So let's see. Go ahead. Anyone starting to fill out the little item? Or some of you are like, some of you have it, some of you don't. It's up to server error.
Is it coming?
Yay, internet.
Click on sign up. What?
Yeah, global communication has its moments.
You can also just type
I can type the number in if we're going to
the
have
name
to.
Cengage in. No, if you just type the name Cengage in there, it should bring you up to the map.
Pardon?
Scroll it up.
It's just spinning at the moment. We're having a little trouble with internet connectivity.
Okay.
Oh, on their server? Oh, I love it. Do you want to show me something?
Worked for me. Let's go on. Let's go on.
Works for him.
Okay.
We'll come back to that site.
So I want to show you, go back to the slide. So we did this in an open house at my university where we had the map up on a smart board. So students could actually touch the location on the map where they're from, and they could write, with the pen, they could write their name, and it used the text to, the handwriting to text feature to turn their handwriting to text to fill in the boxes. So it was a cool demo that we did when we were trying to use this. And then when we were done, we got to see where everybody who came for our open house lived.
Which is really neat. And another idea here is as you're using this in class, you know, our students are from so many different backgrounds, diversities, and maybe to celebrate that. So if they maybe know where their family lineage or something along those lines, that would be a kind of neat worldwide experiment to see where we all have come from, if we know. Hey, any luck on getting that? On Mark's iPad, he was able to, so it's curious and curiouser. We'll have to see how our internet, we'll come back to this as well. Hey, let's move on and we'll check on this soon.
One of the other 21st century skills is being able to deal with people who come from different countries and cultures that are different from our own. I had the unique opportunity, flip up to the next slide for me, thanks, to be involved in a project with a colleague of mine in Romania who teaches a course similar to mine. We teamed up her students and mine for a month, and we had them work on a project together. And the project was to research a current trending technology topic and then prepare a report using multimedia tools in which all 4 of the students had to appear at the same time in a video. So they had to deal with time zones. They had to deal with people who didn't speak the same language as they did. They had to deal with internet problems like all over the place. And we used a tool called ThingLink. ThingLink, it lets us, you put a picture up and then you can comment on it. So as Corinne goes over the image of that the students made of the iPhone apps, you can see different comments that each student made as they reported on different apps. We had the American students translate their comments into Romanian using Google Translate, and the Romanian students translated their comments from Romanian into English using Google Translate, and then they all talked about how bad or good Google Translate was in their own language. And then play the video, if you would. You can see an example of what one of these videos looked like. So this was a great way to have an international conversation with students from all around the world.
Yeah,
we'll see how,
hey,
if we have internet.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if we have any connectivity right now. While I'm switching to a Cat5 connection right here, one thing that ThingLink allows you to do is I use it for assignments. And what I mean by that is I have all the students go to ThingLink, ThingLink.com, and I have them create their own account. And what they're going to do is I assign, for example, let's say we're covering chapter 3, whatever that is in your class. Well, chapter 3, everyone gets a topic from chapter 3. So if you imagine all the different things that you'd be teaching, and what it allows us to do at that time is everybody has to go get an image that best describes their term. So let's say my term is teaching, oh, we'll go with absolute reference, boo, hiss, right? They might take a screenshot, I love it, of Excel, the steps, and they could actually put little videos in. They can put words describing where they would click, how they would do it. And then they can all post that in a discussion board, maybe on your Blackboard or Canvas, that they could check that out. How are we doing with internet connectivity now?
It error occurred, so.
Yeah. Would we have someone who would be willing to?
No,
oh, is it happy? No, I don't know.
We'll see.
We may want to see at the bigger level what's happening with our internet. Anyone else having troubles? Yes, still?
Yeah, let's go on.
Yeah. We'll come back to this, but somebody who wouldn't mind being a runner and telling them that we're having trouble with web connectivity. Would be that, you know, it's hard to do web technologies without the web, huh? Okay.
We can dance again.
Yes.
Sorry. So you assigned a topic. So your example was everyone had a term.
Yes.
And
They upload any picture or just put a URL of any image on the entire web.
okay.
And then they put these little hotspots. Do you see what I mean by hotspots? The hotspots could put text, definitions, explanations, steps,
Or even videos.
or YouTube, or make their own videos for that matter from their cameras or whatever,
Or links.
or links.
And so as long as you set the document to be public, anybody can annotate a thing link. And you give it the URL, and then they can address it. And then anybody can annotate it. So it's a nice way to start with a container instead of doing a PowerPoint. This is a way that you can give them a backdrop, or they can create a backdrop, and then everybody can add something to it.
Agreed. Let's see. Anything loading? Not
Everyone
yet.
is from Alaska.
Oh, here we go. Let's look back at Zmaps. There we go. A few of you are going to be able to get through. Michael Gibson, where are you in the house?
You're
All
using
right.
too much internet.
Yes. And Rebecca, we got a picture. Good, good, good. Thank you. Let's see if we have any others right here. So let's see. Jacksonville in the house. Who is here? We've got Barbara. Where are you, Barbara? Hi, back there. Good to have you, Barbara, as
The internet
always.
works on that side of the room.
Yeah, clearly. Hey, where's Rhonda Nelson in the house? It really does work on that room. So let's see if I have anything else. I'm going to take a couple of these down. So, yeah, let's move on. Yeah, we're losing internet totally. Everybody in the room can't get on anymore. Okay. So we're just trying to, we've tried hardwire, we've tried wireless, the whole room. Only 5 people got through. So maybe it's just a bandwidth issue?
Maybe. Oh, well.
Nothing. Okay. So we'll move on and we'll let them play with the machine. Go ahead.
Sometimes students do things. Oh, we need to switch screens. We can't do
Yeah,
that.
go ahead and do it.
Can you switch this to mine? Well,
Two, please. Two.
Send
Jay to
two?
switch two.
Great, thanks. We're going to pop up a cartoon. This is one of my favorite cartoons. It says, "You kids today with your Google Cloud computers, in my days we would attach our pictures to email messages. And now, how do you do it, right? You attach your pictures to email? Try using Bluetooth or AirDrop or other technologies as examples of ways to do new ways to solve the same kinds of tasks we've been dealing with for a while."
Yeah, recently I was actually talking to some large corporations, and I said something about the word attachment in my discussion, and they all kind of laughed, and I said, I'm not catching what's funny about attachments. And they said, we haven't done attachments in over a year. They're not allowed in companies mostly now. Everything's shared on the cloud. So unless we're starting to teach these technologies on a daily basis, I think our students are going to be at a very large disadvantage.
I want to show you a new technology inside of Excel. Corinne talked about this at lunch for PowerPoint. These are apps for Excel from the Office App Store. So I've opened up Excel, and if I head over to the Insert box under Apps for Office, there are a number of different apps that you can use inside of Excel. One of my favorite ones is called people graph, which I'm going to bring in, and hopefully it loads up.
So this is for Office 365 or Office 2013, built into all of the Office apps. Remember I showed you earlier, Poll Everywhere was built in now, and I showed you a Google map. This is another one. This is in Excel specifically. And let's face it, sometimes students find Excel a little bit challenging. So wouldn't it be cool to kind of lighten it up once in a while and show something kind of fun? So let Mark show you. What he's doing is he went up all the way to the Insert tab on the top left, and in a group called Apps, there's something called Apps for Office. The name of this Office app is called, Mark, I'll let you pick up there.
So this is called People Graph. And
What's it called? People Graph. Everybody got that? An
if I would
Excel
click-
Office app.
if I would go down further where it says see all, I can see a whole bunch of different apps for Office. But this is one called People Graph. And I am going to I entered some really simple data in here, Boston, New York, and LA, and some numbers. And what I want to do is select my data. This lets me, maybe I'm doing something with populations. So this is the data I want to select to create my chart. There it is. Create. And you can see what it did is it created this chart. Instead of a bar chart with just bars, I have a bar chart with people, which is mildly interesting. I can go back and name my chart. I'll call it sales. And that should be okay. But maybe my chart really, I want to make it look better, so I can choose a slightly different theme. Or maybe I want to choose a different icon. And so it lets me create some more interesting, another kind of bar chart for simple data. If you're doing charts in an Excel class, this is a way to bring that data alive in a different way and create a different kind of visualization. In the big data workshop I gave earlier today, we talked about the most important feature of data is being able to make sense of it, being able to visualize it. And bar charts are nice and line charts are nice, but money bags are nice too.
Pretty cool. And again, something easy. Question?
Yeah, quick question. Is this a typical object that you can export to something else?
You can
Save it.
well, you can save it. You can always screenshot it, and
It lives in Excel for the most part, but you of course could screenshot it and take it outside.
you could. I would screenshot it if I wanted to put it somewhere else. Okay.
Copy all
Or
is there.
copy it and paste it.
Yeah,
Whoops.
correct. Copy and paste is
Come
there
on
as
back.
well.
Come on back. There we go.
Good question.
Thanks.
Hey, let me just come back because our internet seems to be a little happier. A lot of you have clearly been able to get through. So again, are you starting to see the population? I'll just open a couple of these. Diane in the house.
Also on
from
that
Valley,
side.
Nebraska. And let's come over here real quick. Diane in Union, you're all over the place, my dear. Jason, Durban, and we have people in Tampa. Oh, there, Sandy.
Yay,
Nice
Sandy.
to see you. And let's go all the way over to California. Let's see who's hanging out. Carolina. So do you kind of get the idea here with how this works? Let me also now pick up, this is back to thinglink.com. So I created a free account, and I was trying to teach my students how to dress for a business interview was one of the topics in my chapter. So I uploaded a free picture off Google, Bing, whatever your preferred choice, and now I could put hot spots on it. So for example, if I want to make sure a gentleman knows how to tie a tie. Mark, where's your tie? I can click right here. You're not saying anything to me, Mark. I can click on the tie right here, and what it allows me to do is I could either put text, wording to explain, or I could go out to YouTube and just copy and paste a YouTube movie about how to tie a tie, and then it would put that right in place. You can then share this. I always grade it like this. I'll tell the students, if you give me 20 hot links on a picture, I'll give you an A. If you give me 15 hot links, so I could put how to tie a tie, put this video right inside there, and again, the students could even create these videos from scratch instead of using one online. He's teaching how to do a typical Mexican dish. I'm from Miami. But anyway, here's the So if we were learning this, I would just copy this video into this, and all I have to do is put it right here, save the tag, and now when I hover over this video, I would actually be able to play that in my hotspot right there. So pretty cool? Oh, Mark, there's lipstick. Okay, our next topic of the day, now that we are back in force. Hey, next thing we can't wait to show you is we've talked about the Excel. We want to stay powered up. You know, you always try to find power.
I'm on my computer right now to bring it up, but I'd just like to say that I just like to say that I 100% agree with Delaware. I think they got the right idea. And I didn't hear you. In that case, I do not agree with them. I think that was a bad idea. Hello?
2 years is too long to wait. Introducing jump.
Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ASUS transformer I showed you earlier has a 12 to 14 hour battery power. So for $300, it's pretty amazing. Hey, number 4, we want to be able to manage, analyze, and synthesize multiple streams of simultaneous information. So let me show you this one. They actually have made some changes to the site. Maybe you've heard of it before, but I want to tell you what's happening now. It's actually called Visually. And there's no .com. Notice it's visual.ly. So what does Visually have that could assist us in making that true? Well, what Visually has to offer at this time is that we are now able to do something called infographics. Let me first show you how to find one. I can enter the keyword internet at Visually or any topic that you're teaching today. And it literally will show you thousands of infographics. Well, what's an infographic? You know, if I asked a student in a discussion board, let's say in Blackboard or any LMS, I want you to read this 17-page article, and let's all comment intuitively on the critical thinking of pulling out the information of this article. How's that working for us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So lately, I've been trying to find up and current, especially technology pieces of infographics that kind of boil down that long article into an image that we would kind of see on USA Today today. But yet there's a lot of times synthesized information to bring it into the discussion. So a picture right here that we could is talking about kids of the past versus kids of the internet. So I could put a link to this. Then I find that the students will take the time to go through an infographic like this. Did you know 79% of boomers use the internet versus 90% of millennials use the internet? So then we can have a discussion about what all these numbers mean. But let's face it, this would be a very long article that the students would now delve into. What's new about this site is now you can start a project of your own. What I mean by that is now you could assign that big article.
Let's bring your story to life. You need content that entertains, persuades, and informs. But creating content is hard.
So now the student could be given an article, and they, using this site, could actually create one of those infographics and share it with the community at large. They give them the tools, circles, text, all that kind of stuff to continue the topic. And let's face it, nowadays, if you can't synthesize or boil down information, what are the critical points here? And for the most part, to me, just writing in a blog what you've read about is not really proving critical thinking nor mastery.
We spend a lot of time showing students how to create charts and graphs in Excel, but we don't spend enough time showing them how to understand information that those charts and graphs contain. Using tools like this and as a way to create, not only create them, but then share what you've learned from them, what's the story that these charts tell, is a really important skill to be able to have. And this tool and even the graphing tool I showed you in Excel are just two examples of why you can do that.
And I think we're seeing as a worldwide, people really want to delve into information and just pull out those important points. People want digestible, important data. And I think this is what does. Even if you don't intend students to make a project, please show them sites like this, because this is how global community is putting forth big data and making it consumable.
we want to talk about ways to create and evaluate multimedia text right now. And Corinne is going to show you one of my favorite apps called Video Notes, especially if you flip your classroom. This is a really
so
cool thing
amazing.
because if students watch videos ahead of time, this is a way that you can tell that they've actually watched them.
Yeah, Mark and I are actually putting some of our favorite technologies toward the end. So we're very sorry that we've bored you up to this point. Now we're getting to what I consider the really good stuff, although the other ones I think are amazing. This is actually a new feature of Google Drive. So free, fabulous, all those good things. So here's an example. I want students to watch a video on my online class. How's that working for you? You know, they don't even watch the video. You think it's something fun, but is there a test on that? Is there an assignment? And I see teachers try to be creative. They'll say, could you tell me what the third word in the 4th minute is? They just take the timeline, listen to that word, and will not even watch the whole thing. So how do you know they're consuming all these great things like YouTube? Hey, I'm heading out to a website called Video Notes, and let me spell it to you slowly. It is actually spelled the word video, videonot.es. Once again, not a .com. It's Video Notes with the dot before the ES. Everyone always thinks it's a Spanish site because of the .es, but it is technically not. It will first ask you to log into your Google Drive. Any Gmail account will, of course, do this. So what we're seeing right here is you can load on this side of the screen a video from almost any site. And what the student's going to be required to do is while they're watching the video, they're going to take detailed notes on the right that are time-stamped. And then if one of those terms is on a test, they want to go study through it, they can click on that term and it will automatically rewind the video to that exact spot.
And play it from where they clicked.
So let me show you. So I want to know a little bit about Google Glass. We've had a lot of fun with it this week. So if I wanted to show a particular video what it's like to wear Google Glass, I could find the video. So all I'm doing is coming to a particular video and copying the link.
Okay, Glass.
So I don't want the student to watch it here. I'm going to have them bring it back into Video Notes. So I'm just right-clicking and pasting in a URL and clicking Load Video. While it's loading, we'll see in just a second, the student will be able to watch it in here. These notes are shareable, so they can turn this in to me or to the class to have any kind of discussion right there. So while that's loading quickly, Mark, fill in.
While this is loading, what we're going to be able to do on the right-hand side is, as the video plays, Corinne will be able to type in what she thinks is important about the video.
Okay, let's
click
go.
the play button. And notice as she types, there's a timestamp for every word that she types.
Okay, Glass. Record video.
This is it. We're on 2 minutes.
Text to speech.
Okay, Glass. Hang out with the volume button. Google Photos will tell your heads.
So these are the notes that we've got,
You ready?
and we'll stop it.
Right there. Okay, Glass.
And now what we can do, and this is the cool part, go back and click on record video.
And look where it went right in the timeline.
Okay, Glass.
So,
And now, go ahead.
so you can have students write their notes. They can use it as a study guide if they want to know about which part of the video is talking about something they're interested in. They go back to their notes, they click on their note, and it takes them back to directly in the video where that portion was playing. At the same time, if your video note is linked up with your Google account, you can then save this on Google Drive and then share it with your instructor so they can tell that you've watched it. And also, if you read your students' notes, you know what they think is important about the video. So you can make sure that you have that information.
And by simply clicking on that link at the top, that is your notes. And that way you can put that on a discussion board anywhere or turn that literally into your teacher so they can see that. So why would you use this possibly in flipping? Flipping the classroom is where you do more activity-based in the classroom and sometimes have videos that the students watch with certain instruction. Well, we're finding that sometimes students don't watch those videos outside of class. So now students are required, I require that every 15 seconds during the video, that you write down what is happening the entire length of the video. It could be me as a talking head. Typically, it's more screenshots where I'm teaching a step-by-step. But now I can prove that they watch that, and it's much easier just to let it play than skipping every 15 seconds because you won't get context at all. I've never seen a tool that works so beautifully. You can even load a 6-hour video in here and start taking notes.
And you can't
no
really
one do that.
And you can't really cheat either because the notes are timestamped. So you have to actually sit there and watch through the whole thing.
Hey, does that get a...
You can share they can share the notes file.
They could, but if they are identical, obviously you as a teacher know that no two human beings on earth would put the exact same wording for the entire thing, and you can't edit somebody else's file. So here we are. Everybody say, oh yeah.
Let's go to this one. It's 427.
You have to have a Google account, and that's
Yeah.
all, which is Google Drive. Yeah, you can just take that link and put it right into a discussion board like D2L or any of the above. Hey, next thing that we cannot wait to show you right now is actually another favorite of mine. We're going to take a look at something called string, and it allows you to have an ethical responsibility required by complex environments, Mark.
Sometimes you have to teach something that you don't know how to teach about, and can you leave one of those for me?
Yes, of course.
Thanks. So sometimes you have to, and you want to be able to demo something. Who has a phone or an iPad with them? An iPad or an iPhone only?
Has to be an iOS platform.
While we talk, please head over to the App Store and download an app called String AR Showcase. String
I have it up.
AR Showcase.
Thought I had it up.
The
You all
app
see
that
it up here?
we want to teach about AR, which stands for Augmented Reality. You've seen it in Google Glass. We're going to show it to you here. Grab a few of the images that are coming around. And this is a time where sometimes showing is better than talking. And you should have seen me showing this to Corinne the other
We
day.
do have to tell you this story.
So I was in DC airport. I had a couple hour layover, and Corinne and I were planning for our day. And she hadn't seen this, and I wanted to show her how it worked. And so I was in a Google Hangout with her on my laptop over here, and I had this screenshot, and I had the app on my phone, or on my iPad, because I really wanted to show her how this worked. And I needed to get the screen here on here, because what we're going to do is you're going to download the app.
This app right here.
Called
with
String.
iOS. String AR Showcase.
And then
No, 3 words.
that's
Same thing,
that's the one.
augmented reality. Yeah, it's up to if it's
That's
iPad
the
or
one.
iPhone, yeah.
And then what you need to do is you take the app with your camera and you scan the image, and you'll see what happens. And so I was trying to do this in a way that I could then get it on my screen so she could see it on her computer when she was at home, and I ran out of hands.
So I dared Mark to find a stranger in the DCA airport to assist him.
And she was very nice and gave me a hand.
So he accosted this poor woman. And she basically says, "You must help me." And now she's holding pieces and parts for him, and I am laughing at home. I said, "Let the woman go." Let the woman go, Mark. Sure.
So once you get the app, what you want to do is open it on your phone and grab one of the images. Did they make it all the way around the room? So pass them around, and what we want you to do is take a look at what virtual reality or augmented reality actually is. These images come from a site called poweredbystring.com, and the software allows people to actually create their own augmented reality images. These are for show and tell.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put some of them up on the screen. So take a look at this. If I scan this,
It's the same image, one of the same images that we passed around.
what should happen? Maybe it may not be bright enough.
Might have to do the real piece of paper.
Yeah, then we need your hands again. Then
Oh boy.
I'll hold it up.
Okay.
Actually, put it down. Let's switch to my
Yeah.
camera. So take a look. Can you switch to my laptop, please?
I am on yours.
Thanks. You're not. Yes, you are. Okay. So here's the app on my document camera. Right over here. Here's my iPad. I scan the app with my camera.
Pull back. Can we hold this up?
Yeah, sure. Look what's happening.
Do y'all see what's happening? Is that was that picture, but what it does is does a 3D augmented reality and turns that picture into a whole different scene. Hold on, Mark. Let's get it.
We should hang out at airports.
Yeah, you got to lift up higher. You see it? Now do you see it? Do you see it coming out at you? Now let's change the pictures. Some of you have different ones. So can someone hand us like a shoe or something else?
A shoe? Can I have a shoe?
We need a shoe,
Who's got the
please.
shoe?
If you're not using your shoe.
Come on up, give us a shoe. Pass us the shoe. So this is a real example of how computers could be used in product modeling and creating new products. I'm scanning the picture of, where's the shoe?
Right there.
This is a picture of a shoe.
Y'all
Thank
see
you.
this shoe? It looks like a boring tennis shoe, doesn't it?
Right, there's my shoe.
Do you see it coming out at us?
So here's the shoe. Where'd it go?
Do you see the shoe coming out?
And I can also color the shoe. Make it green or make it different colors.
So augmented reality is a new term. We see it in our textbooks and computer concepts, but yet our students really don't know what that means. So if they could see that people are now taking products and making an augmented reality version of them, then they would kind of understand a new way of marketing.
So these are ways to, again, get students excited about creating new ideas. That the software that Powered by String creates allows companies to make their own images similar to these. But as a teaching tool, these are great examples of what augmented reality actually looks like.
Question.
Who's got it on their screen?
NASA and JPL have the same one called Spacecraft.
Yeah, it's really good.
Love it.
Yeah, it's definitely another one there. So you open the app, and at that point, it'll just hover over the picture. It should come alive once you point at the picture.
Okay, I'm pointing.
Is anything happening? Move it up and down. You want to do this one? We'll do this one, Mark. You want to do the Botswana?
Sure. Let's put this up here. So check out this one. How's the focus on the camera?
Do y'all see this? Okay, now that's the original picture. Then this guy shows up. Do you see him? He's big and green.
Move the camera.
Move it up. You see him? And you can move him around. Make him go. You can make him walk around.
This way, guy.
This way, little guy. Is that not cool?
You can take screenshots of these. They're really cool.
It's got an augmented reality. It's kind of, think of it as 3D, popping out at you like 3D glasses is the concept.
So the software knows how to recognize the image in order to create these animations for us.
Now I want you to do this. If you're able to get it off your camera, would you now walk around and show 2 or other 3 people around you? You have an assignment right now so they can see what you're seeing.
No, hold the camera way up high. There we go.
Look at them all at once.
Check out my iPad. They're all there.
cool, Mike. Do you hear that? Shadow, that's a good thing. I'm going to show them the Abstring site where they got these materials so they know the pieces and parts.
Let's show them the site where they got it from. And this closing has to be the things that they learned today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it again. I wouldn't do it. Switch the screen.
Hey, let me show you how to do this and try to try this in your class, and then I'll take some questions. So I'm at the website called Powered by String. What this website will provide you is these printouts are right in a PDF file that you could print for your class. We did print them on color printers, and as you go to leave, do we need these back, Mark, or can they keep them?
You can keep these.
You can keep these to get at least a starter piece. But it's right on Powered by String. So right here, we're under the word product. And guess how much this cost, everybody? Free. Yes. But they could just use the screen. You know what I mean? You could just do it this way. You don't have to print them. We didn't have a way of everyone getting up here. But you can actually do it off the screen when it's bright enough. It's a little with this many people. So you don't have to print.
So I would click on print targets, and that brings this PDF file with all these images
Then
up.
you can just scan it in your classroom, and you don't need to print anything. So you have a couple choices. So with some questions, we have a question right here.
Yes, but it costs you money.
Yeah. Other
They,
question right here. You can take a screenshot of them.
Can you save what?
Save the link, she said.
What I've done is I've taken screenshots of. Put up the slide with my hand under the shoe. It's 2 slides back.
Okay.
What I've done with this is like to show. This is my hand underneath the shoe. So I sort of had that. Another case where I need another hand, right? So I had my hand underneath this, and the shoe on the table, and I was trying to take a selfie to get that, so you can sort of make it look like it's real. You can do screenshots off your phone or off of your iPad in order to do that. It makes a nice effect. The other one that some of you had allows you to actually write on it. There's one of the pictures you can write on it,
What time is it?
and then the text sort of comes alive as well. So they give you 4 sample images, but as a way to talk about this new technology trend of augmented reality, which nobody ever heard of in your class possibly. This is a way to introduce it relatively simply. It's another way to say, take out your cell phone, here's something cool that we can do with it,
Yeah.
and then they can go off and read about it
Your students
and
love it.
make a report about it.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is take a lot of the concepts, like students kind of find, oh, what's the big deal about a map? It's something like Zmaps, or bringing augmented reality literally from the page into reality. And I think that's what we need to do from Excel onward. So we'd like to close up this session today by asking,
How can you take these ideas into your classroom?
so we want a few of you to share some ideas what you might do with these in your neck of the woods, literally.
I'm going to use that in my graphics. Graphics multimedia class. Very cool.
How? Perfect. How do they expand upon it? Other things that we've shown you today that you might be able to adapt.
I was thinking use ThingLink and have code examples, and each line of code would be a hyperlink, it'll be a hotspot. So they can click on the hotspot, watch a video about that line of code, or have notes about that line of code.
Like that.
Very cool. Other ideas?
I was thinking ThingLink as well, like how the students actually design a presentation around it instead of giving a PowerPoint presentation, give a presentation on a topic that create using the ThingLink.
That's exactly what I did with my colleagues in Romania. We had the students, instead of creating a whole bunch of slides, they created the one background image that they needed to come up with a background image that represented their topic, and then they had to add individually and collectively various annotations to parts of their image to explain it. and those annotations had to be either text or links or sound bites they would store on SoundCloud or videos, as you saw. Great.
Just a simple thing with that Zmaps, instead of doing a boring introduction on Blackboard, have them introduce them. And I've had students from China, I think the students get real jazzed about it.
And even if you're all from one neighborhood, everyone can put in their exact street address, and you can just zoom in on the map and see what part of your neck of the woods does everyone live in.
And one of the other things you can do with the Zmap, could you bring that up for a second?
Sure.
Is if you have a Blackboard site or a site or a website for your class,
Sorry.
you can embed the Zmap. There it is. Scroll back. Somewhere in there, there's a link that says share.
Yeah.
Where it says printer share. Way on the top.
Yeah.
You can publish in website. So share the link will share the link to the map, and publish in website will give you some embed code, some HTML code that you could then copy and paste this iframe code into Blackboard or into a blog or into a web page.
And it would pop
and then
that
that map will show up as part of the web page. So after, on the first day of class, put this in your Blackboard page on the front day, and then ask everybody where they're from, and then you can have it show up that way.
What I want to close with is this. What we're starting to see, whatever technology we're talking about, our students' lives are changing irreversibly. They might work at a job way up here, but it used to be that we were just talking tech jobs. We're talking any job is closely tied with technology today. Whether farming, the Olympics just a few weeks ago. So it's time to make a technology-driven class. Whether you're in Bangkok or ordering up downtown at BB King's. Farming, technology takes us to new heights. So it's an emergency. Go back on Monday. Change it up. Have a new beat. Look at the awe in their faces. My favorite moment in the last hour is when you all see the dragon come out at you. It's that moment of wonder. Students love music and travel. So whether you're in the huddle on Friday night or anywhere, it's time to connect with technology. I thank you, and
we thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed our session.